Hey everybody, this is Bill with I Ride Tiny House Adventures. Hope you're having a good day today. Well, we thought we'd take a little bit here and talk about where we're at right now and show you a couple other things that we had to take care of as far as the van is concerned. But right now we're at Ants Creek Campground, which is the Corps of Engineer Park. And this is about 30 minutes from the Branson Strip, where all the shows and everything are, is where it's at. And the campground is absolutely beautiful. Most of the sites are terraced into the side of a hill, and they're all really nice paved sites. Many of them will accommodate a fairly large RV. There's a few that it's best if you have like a pop-up camper or a small camper or something like that. But by and large, a vast majority of them will accommodate a pretty large RV. Let me give you a kind of a panoramic view. First, I'll show you where we are, right up there. And let me zoom in a little bit right there so you can see a little better. And where we're sitting right there, we're in shade probably 85 to 90% of the day. That really makes it nice. Really makes it nice, especially since we don't have our air conditioner hooked up yet. But let me give you another shot. Now, right next to it there, you can see there's a pull-through site right across from us right there. And then, of course, you can see a couple of RVs setting up there, and on down that road a little bit, there's a couple more RVs. Campground's not real full right now because it's in the middle of the week, but over the weekend it was really, really nice and full. Had lots of neighbors everywhere. Let me kind of spin around. This is a really neat spot. Most of them have a really nice pad to set up a gazebo or a tent or a pop-up or something like that. A pop-up, like a pop-up shade system or something. And this is just one section of the entire park. Deb has all the particulars as far as how many sites are here and everything, and we're going to go up and visit with her in just a little bit. But they're all really, really neat and all terraced in, and they have a lot of this railroad tie thing going on here, so they can have nice level spots for picnic tables and things like that. Really, really cool. Really cool. And we've had quite a few storms here lately, and they're talking like we could have some more major ones tonight. In fact, we had a pretty rough storm roll through a day or two ago, and I shot some film of it coming in. I was down by the water and shot some film. We'll probably show you a clip of that a little bit later. But I do want to say that the tent, the gazebo, fared quite well. We set it up the very first day we got here, and it really, really has done well with all of the weather we've been having. Let me go over here and get a better view of it. This is where we have it set up, where we can just walk. We got these neat little steps walking right up here, and then of course the gazebo is right here. This is our living room outside. We shot our last video from sitting inside here, and then we've got this really neat spot that we can sit over here in the shade, which we like to do, especially in the evening. The chairs right now are facing, I'd say, almost due west, because the sun goes down over there. If you look closely, see if I can zoom in a little bit, look through the trees there, you can see where the water is down there. Right down there is where it's at. Anyway, the tent did really, really well. The gazebo did really, really well. I'm so used to calling it a tent, but the gazebo did very, very, very well. We had some really, really, really hard rain, and we've got a little stereo system set up in there and a little fan and stuff, and it all stayed relatively very dry. We had to move things away from the edges here where the mesh screen is still exposed, but even then, not very much moisture got inside the tent, the gazebo, at all. But what I really wanted to talk about today is when we realized that we were going to have to make a major change in plans, we went ahead and had to build out the van so it would accommodate everything that we had to haul. And we wanted everything to be in a place where we could easily get to it and have the items that we use the most, more at our fingertips, and then the other items, of course, that we don't use all that much. We still wanted to have a way to get to them, but it's not as if they had to be out there where we could get to them real easily. Let me walk over here and show you through the side door what we did first over here. And we built basically a two-tier system Back here at the back behind my guitar, we have the higher shelf back here, and we'll talk about what goes in there. And then we have the lower shelf right here. And this is where I keep all my sound equipment, where I can have easy access to it for depending on what kind of venue I'm playing. And I'm set up where I can cover anything from a small venue of 20, 30 people up to 500 people. It all depends on what equipment I need to use. I keep my microphone stands and things like that up underneath here. If you look right back there, you can see one of those black cases, and we use quite a few of those, and we're going to get some more. So we have room to put 3 in there all together underneath there, and still have our fresh water hoses and everything close by if we need them. And I was able to get my auxiliary transfer tank, water tank secured right here, and I've got it set up in such a way if I decide to add a pump in front of the water valve here and mount it permanently right here, this is where I can really easily take it loose and slide it back a little bit further to make room for all that right here. But that's in the future. And then I keep other things that I grab real quick, like my level, my crank for the scissor jacks, and then I have 2 bottle jacks that I use sometimes to lift the trailer when I want to get it level just so. So all that stuff is right there. And by the way, yes, I did get a socket for my my drill, so I can raise and lower the scissor jacks once I get them loose. I can raise and lower them with my drill, which will make it a little bit easier. Now back here at the back, get on back here. This is where we raise this shelf up a little bit higher, and what runs down the side right here, this is where we of course keep our paddles, but they lay on top of everything else once we get everything else in here. But this area is left open so we can get the gazebo in here when it's all packed away. We can also put the rug in here that we keep inside the gazebo. It fits right in there. And our paddles, of course, and our fold-up umbrella chairs. And then we keep all of our different blocks to block up the trailer right here. That's my little subwoofer I use sometimes in my PA system. And this, of course, is this is a little cart that turns into a 4-wheel cart if I've got to haul my sound equipment a little ways away from where I'm parked. And then we bought us a little 3-step ladder that helps us get up to the roof to get the kayaks down. I wanted my compressor back here at the back, and from here with a 25-foot hose I can reach every tire either on the van or the trailer if I need to air some up. So that worked out really well. And if I need to get the compressor out, all I got to do is pull this particular tub out, and I can slide the compressor back a little bit and it'll fit through between the studs and come right out. This is where we keep our auxiliary gray water tanks right here, and they stack one on top of the other right here, and they fit just perfect right there. So, and we still have room to add other stuff down the line, stuff that we won't necessarily need to haul all the time, or need to get to all the time, but stuff that we might need now and then. What we did in order to be able, now right here you see one of those black tubs there, and then behind that there's 2 more back there that are stacked on top of each other. And the way we get them out, I made up this this stick here. I got me a 1-inch dowel rod, 4 foot long, put that hook on the end, and then on this end I put a rubber cap on it so I can use it to push things back up underneath there. But whenever we need to get something out that's a little bit harder to reach, all I got to do, see if I can do this. Well, I was looking at the phone instead of looking at that, and I can hook on right there and pull that out right there real easily. Plus, this thing really helps. Let me get up here so I can show you. This thing really helps when we're tying the kayaks down onto the racks on top. I can use this stick here with the hook on it when I throw my ties across the kayak, and I have 4 ties total, 2 per kayak. I can throw the straps across the kayak, reach underneath with this stick and grab it and pull it back through. So it's really handy for that. So this thing is really, and I think it cost me like $10 total to make this whole thing right here, about $10 total, and it has really come in handy for all sorts of things. Got everything at Home Depot. All right, and we went on a bike ride this morning. For now, we're carrying the bikes in the trailer. These bikes have the the quick release front wheels on them. So we go ahead and pop the wheels off. We turn the bikes upside down and put them back in the kitchen on their handlebars, and it works out real well. And then we brace them up so they won't fall over, but it works real well. And we went on a bike ride this morning, and what we've discovered here is it's a little bit harder to ride here because the hills are steeper here than they are back in Arkansas, right?
I believe so. I get both exercise. I ride my bike and I get to walk.
Yeah. When you can't climb the hills. Yeah. Well, these bikes are single speeds, folks, and we got single speeds for several reasons. They are regular road bikes and they ride really nice, but we got single speeds because Deb doesn't want to
shift gears. I can't do that. That takes coordination. You know, you got to think, shift. It's single gears better for me.
And the other reason why we got single gears is because, hey, we get a better workout because we have to work harder on the hills we can climb.
That's why Bill got them. I got them because I like single gear.
But I'll tell you what's really neat about it, though, is when you have this hill that you're struggling to climb and you keep working at it and you keep working at it, and then you finally get to where you can climb that hill, that just gives you a real good feeling, you know, to know that you were able to do it. So that's the story on that. Now let's talk more about this campground. And Deb's got her little cheat sheet right there.
It's a map they give you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to ask for it.
Sometimes you have to ask for the map, but they'll readily give you one here. And it's really, really helpful to have the map of the campground. How many sites are here total?
56.
56 sites. Yeah. And wasn't there one section that looked like it was primitive sites, maybe 10 sites or so that were primitive? Yes. I don't remember seeing any electric at any of them.
There was a few that's just strictly campsites, like for tents and that type of thing.
Right.
And then they have a few, I don't know how many because it doesn't tell me on this map, but they have a few that's electric and water, and they're 50 amp electric.
Yeah, 50 amp electric.
We got 30 amp.
Right.
No water at the site.
Yeah, no water at the site, but that doesn't bother us at all because of the way we're set up with our transfer tank.
My engineer husband fixed that.
Well, I appreciate you referring to me as an engineer, but I don't think we need to go quite that far. But anyway, it is working out well. The water transfer system is working out well, and it really does. And we don't have to worry about using too much water when we take a shower, right? Yeah.
Well, we do it consistently.
Yeah, we're still conservative. We're still conservative, and we can still go about every third day or so, sometimes 4 days before we have to dump our tanks and refill the fresh water tank. But that is no big deal because here again, it doesn't take very long to do it all. But this is a beautiful campground. We highly recommend you look into this campground. It is a Corps of Engineer campground. Over the weekend, it was totally full. I think we counted maybe 1 or 2 sites that were still empty. Is that right? There wasn't very many at all.
Wasn't very many.
No,
I mean,
wasn't very many at all.
Packed.
Oh yeah, and we love having neighbors. We really do like having neighbors, and because we meet the nicest people.
That's right.
The nicest people, absolutely. All right, well, we're going to let you go. This was just kind of a quick deal to show you what we did to the van. I still have a couple little things I've got to do on the van to strengthen it a little bit, and I'll kind of go over that with you. Now, this way, back and forth, I've got it pretty tight. It still wobbles a little bit this way, side to side. But what I'm going to do here, because I need all that space, I would just make me a couple of 45 degree, take some 2x2s and cut them on a 45 degree and make a couple of wedges to put up there to strengthen that. But I need all that space clear to the top. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm just going to get the metal angle brackets. And I'm not a big fan of those, but I'm going to screw a few in here just to tighten that up, and everything will be just fine. But it's working out really, really well as it is right now. We're not having any issues at all, and we're really, really pleased with the fact that we can get everything that we feel like we need to carry. And probably we could get rid of a few things, right?
Yes, we don't need 15 number 10 sockets.
But the 10 millimeter is always the one you can't find.
Well,
and
I'm just saying.
I have 15 10 millimeter sockets.
Well, I haven't actually counted. I was exaggerating to prove a point.
But I have
several.
I have several. But here again, you always fear. That's the one you always need, and you can't find it. The 10 millimeter.
I'm just saying I need to combine 2 crates into 1 crate.
you don't mess with a man's tools. Anyway, I guess we need to let everybody go. I mean, this was just a quickie to show you where we're at. We highly recommend this park. It's a beautiful park. Water looks quite inviting. We haven't had a chance to get out there yet on it, but we are going to before we leave. My foot, by the way, is healing very, very well. It's almost done, right? And we'll talk about that at another time too, and tell you exactly what I did to.
The campsites we like here
Yeah.
are 30, 31, 39, and of course this one's 48.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're all good sites, but those are like our favorites.
Yeah.
And a lady we were talking to at one of our campsites said that she really appreciated the fact that we mentioned specific number sites, because when they're getting ready to make reservations, it's not just a shot in the dark.
Well, and that's
So-
what we're going to try to do, is always point out the favorite ones that we have. Yeah.
Right.
So, and we appreciate that comment too, from that particular viewer. Well, we're going to let you all go now. And keep in mind, folks, we are not camping. We are
Living.
And this is Bill and Deb with I Ride Tiny House Adventures saying
Goodbye for now.
we'll see you again soon. Y'all take care. Bye-bye now. Be watching for that clip of the thunderstorm. Goodbye.